everybody, and welcome to I Feel the Rush. I'm Angie Gade, and as you can see, I'm not in my normal attire, and it is just a little bit after 8 o'clock, because what happened here is, for those of you who are from the area, are from Wisconsin, and who might be hunters, it's the first week of turkey hunting season. So, my take started on Wednesday. Chris went out and got it done. I got home this evening and Parker and Chris were going to go out and put one to bed for me, meaning they're going to go and search them out and find out where they're going to sleep so we can find them in the morning. And they ran in the house and said, "There's a tom out in the field. Do you want to go?" So within 15 minutes, we were out in the blind, Parker with his video camera, Chris with the bridge rocker call, and me ready to harvest a turkey. So I apologize for the hunting gear, but I literally just got in the house, and this is what we get. I still got the bibs on. I got my coat on. I've got all the goods. So this is what we're doing right now. I'm going to take my coat off. Just walked in the door, and I have something good to show you guys. It's going to be helpful. So in recent weeks, I've been showing you guys different projects on what you can do with turkey feathers. For those of you who haven't been with us before, again, my name is Angie Gade, and our mission is to help you create amazing home decor, ensuring that you relive your most wonderful outdoor experiences time and time again. We try to do this to help you guys save money on home decor, to utilize the feathers and the hides and everything that is under the realm of for us hunters. So if you haven't watched the previous lives, please do so. There's awesome creations, awesome home decor, awesome ideas. Tonight, I don't have a craft idea, but I wanted to show you something critical when it comes to feathers and when you actually harvest a bird. If you are a hunter or you know hunters, you don't have to be a hunter to get these feathers or these wings, but if you know hunters, you will definitely be able to get them. So, still have too many coats on. I'm sweating now. It was a little windy and rainy out there, but it is hot in here. So, I'm going to get down to business. For those of you who are hunters, for us, we hunt pheasants, turkeys, ducks, geese, you name it. The boys harvest it, and I'm going to show you what I do with them. So, first of all, some of the things that I do are simply just harvesting the individual feathers, like these turkey feathers. So I pluck these and I put them in the freezer, I bag them up, lay them flat, put them in the freezer to use in crafts later on. Another thing that I do is I actually harvest the entire wing. So for this example, this one's actually a pheasant wing. And what I want to show you in particular is when you clip the wing, you're actually going to treat just the moist part. I will give you some further detail on that and what I actually apply to that. I'll put it in the comments below the live when we're done here. But basically I want to explain pinning to you, because if you clip this wing and then you just let it dry, it's going to be crumpled up and you're not going to be able to lay it flat like this. So what I do for basically all of my wings that I harvest is I take one of these boards, never mind the sticker over here, I take this board, I got it at the dollar store. It's basically just a thicker cardboard, and you take these little like taxidermy needles. I'm going to try to hold it up here so you can see it. Just a little taxidermy pinning needle that you use for hides and stuff. And basically what I do is I take the wing and I spread it out, and I don't think you can see it, but I basically pin it anywhere where I can hold open that wing between different, hey Mike, thanks for joining us tonight. So I pin in between just various feathers. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just basically so that you can keep it open. And then you let it dry. I've had this one on the board for several months. I actually have probably 5 or 6 of these boards. Ooh, I just lost a wing. 5 or 6 of these boards downstairs, and I leave them like that until I'm going to use them. Otherwise, you can take them out and bag them, and if you have a safe, flat place to put them, you can put them away for later use. So I'm going to set this one down, but basically this is how I do it as the set, if I'm not actually going to pluck the wing. I could still pluck the feathers if I wanted to. This would be a very, very easy way for you to just, sometimes in the fall or the winter, it's not a prime time to be laying stuff outside because here in Wisconsin it's wet and cold. So for me, it's getting the wings off, getting them on the board, and just having a place to put them because freezer space is limited and you don't really have anywhere outside to put them. So it's a good way to store them. Again, it's just flat, so you're going to be laying it, you know, against a wall somewhere or whatever in the basement. Keeping in mind now, what you're going to want to do is probably keep it outside because as I've mentioned before, when I pluck the feathers and they're fresh, I'm typically putting them in the freezer because wild animals have wild little critters. So let's not forget that if you're going to do something like this and it's winter, you could put them outside. And obviously that's going to take care of it. If you're going to put it in the garage where it's freezing, that will take care of those little critters for a while. Otherwise, you could even lay it flat like this, cut it, and if you have room in your freezer, you could lay it flat in your freezer, maybe just bag it or something. So there's all sorts of ways that you can do that if you're going to keep it as a whole wing. So what I wanted to mention is, I lost one of my wings. So I'll show you a couple of the different examples of the different kinds of wings. Now, some are prettier than others, but I don't judge. I don't judge a wing before I have made a craft because even though this guy's missing a wing here, or a feather, I may double that up with another, hold on, I got a whole basket. I may double it up with another one depending on what kind of project I'm going to work on. So, you know, don't dispose of it just because you think maybe it's missing a feather. You can always pluck another feather and put it there. So these are some pheasant wings. I'll show you a couple different kinds here and then I can talk a little bit more about it. And for those of you who haven't harvested these birds before, I mean, the wing coloring is so different on every single one. So it's just, personally, I have so many wings now. I've talked about this before. I have so much just awesome feathers and hides and antlers from all different hunting memories, hunting experiences, and I'm really finding a hard time to get rid of any of it. So that's kind of where this premise came from, is making use of all these amazing memories. I mean, just these, I know when we've gone hunting. I know what experiences that we've had. I remember going with the kids or going with Chris, you know, going with the dogs for dogs that we no longer have anymore. Some of those are just memories that are kind of built into these items. So those are pheasants. This one, and this one I kind of wanted to use as an example. This is a goose wing, and I'll show you a little bit of what I plan to do with these bigger ones. But what I wanted to explain to you is this is a wing that I wasn't able to pin up before it dried. So I don't know if you can really tell, but the wing is bent, and there is no way to get that unbent. Now that it's hardened, it's just bent. So I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to put it in a large picture frame, and I'm planning to, just because the wings are so pretty, like just use this one wing, and I'm going to glitter the edges of these feathers, and I'm going to put it in a frame. Maybe a shadow box, maybe an open frame with no glass on the front. It just depends. Whatever the mood strikes that day. So I just wanted to glitter these because they're so pretty. I mean, they're just beautiful. I've mentioned this as well before, but I always like to remind people that the goose and duck feathers are not saleable. So anything that I would be making out of duck or goose, they're federally protected. So I wouldn't be selling any of those, but this is seriously just a great idea. So if you goose hunt, or you know someone who goes goose hunts, they could give you those and you can craft with them. They just simply can't be sold. So that's an example of one that's already dried. Here's another one that actually was dried too. The boys really had an excellent goose hunting time, so I had so many that I just couldn't get them done at the same time. But just look at just look at the beautiful feathers. I think they're so amazing, and it just, you know, I wouldn't be doing it justice if I didn't do something with them. So this is another goose. Are any of you guys out there goose hunters? If you look at the back side too, I mean, you could even turn the feather or the wing this way and do something with feathers on the, or with flowers on the inside, something. So another goose. What I also wanted to mention is pheasant feathers. Okay, so another confession. I have a tub in my car that if I see a pheasant on the road, I can't go by because the feathers are so pretty. Like if you haven't, whoops, I gotta turn the wrong way. If you haven't pheasant hunted before, or if you haven't seen these feathers, this is a whole pheasant tail basically. And again, you can do something really creative just with the tail. You don't have to pay a taxidermist and I'm not anti-taxidermist, obviously. We have things that we taxidermy too. But if you really have full walls like we do, that's kind of what where we're at is we have all these memories and these things that we want to put up. We just don't have any wall space. So we're just trying to provide alternative ideas. So we call it taxidermy alternatives, for lack of a better term. But this too, you could mount on a piece of wood. You could just put your picture in front of it, or dog's picture, or whatever you want. You know, there's just so much you can do. Or you take the feathers off of here, and there are bazillions of ideas on Pinterest. If you haven't been to Pinterest, or you're just hesitating going there, please do yourself a favor. If you have other items like this, like that's kind of where I get some of my ideas to share with you guys, is on Pinterest, because there's so much and people just don't know. So I'm picking a few things that I've wanted to try and I'm bringing them to you guys, and then I hope you guys do the same. If you see something really awesome, please share it with me. At the end of the talk, I'm going to kind of explain a couple of the projects that people have asked me about, and we're going to be doing on upcoming lives. So I'm loving hearing the ideas. If you have an idea that you haven't shared with us, please drop it in the comments, send me a message, and we'll schedule it for one of the upcoming lives. So, pheasant. Got a goose wing. Got a duck wing. Isn't that beautiful? So these are a little bit smaller. These would be easy to do like this is a different kind of duck, but would be easy enough to put like together, and then you could put them in a frame and they'd be super easy. What I do, I really just put hot glue on the back of here, or you could like use E6000 or something like that, and then put them on a piece of paper, and then you put them in a shadow box. So I know you don't get the right idea with me standing in the background, but for those of you who are just joining us, thank you for stopping by. I was just explaining that I'm still in my hunting bibs because the boys had me out in the field already this afternoon. So turkey hunting season is on, and we were out there. We were out in the sprinkles. It was a beautiful night. So we didn't harvest anything. We did see some turkeys. It was nice just to sit and do some videotaping and just enjoy the beautiful spring weather, because in Wisconsin, anything above 20 degrees is beautiful weather right now. So we're enjoying it. So thank you for bearing with me in my hunting attire. I just wanted to get out here and get with you guys as soon as possible. So again, these are duck wings. I have a couple other duck wings. So you get the general idea. You know, these ones are just black. So I mentioned, if you just joined us, that I was actually going to take some glitter. So I'd actually use maybe some Mod Podge, or again, E6000, or even hot glue, and put it maybe along the edges and put some glitter on there. And that just kind of gives it a little bit, you know, a little flash if you're going to put it in a frame or something like that. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. Please, if you have wings at home, please reach out and let me know what you did with them or what you were considering doing with them. I would love to share ideas. I have more wings than I have time for right now, so I'm really anxious to do something with these. So yeah, so that was it for this evening. I wanted to show you guys again how to pin these up. Again, another reason you're going to want to do this is just to keep your feathers flat. Even if you just have turkey feathers, you know, individual turkey feathers. That's right, I just pulled out of a bucket of feathers over here. You can still lay them flat on a board if you're afraid they're going to get, you know, squished up or something like that. Putting them on the board and using the pins is a great way to keep them flat and keep them safe for whatever project you're going to be working on. So that is that. Again, please let me know what project are you working on? This week, one of the questions I got was, how do you take antlers and make them into a frame? Is anyone on here that's listening or will be listening later? Let me know if you've made one of these antler frames. Do you just use the antlers? Do you put them on a frame? I've seen them all sorts of ways. Next week, that's going to be my live, the antler picture frame. We're going to go a little big. We're going to go a little small. So make sure and join us next week, because that is surely something you're not going to want to miss, because it's going to be the first time I've done it, but I'm going to do a little investigation. If you've done this before, please share it with me. Again, if you want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, email me. We have the website, ifeeltherush.com. I would love to hear from you. And that's it for tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, Angie, Gade, we're in Brillion. We're loving connecting with you guys. So please join us again next Thursday, 8 p.m. And I'd love to hear from you. Have a great night, guys. Thanks. Bye.